Facebook.
He goes on.
When I get up there and say something, the people on live, look at it.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom, Shabbat.
Greetings to one and all in the Master YAHOSHUA's name. I give the Master thanks and praise for the opportunity to be up here once again. It's been a while. In this particular instance, and I give him thanks and praise for the shepherd of the house, Pastor Reggie, for giving me the opportunity to be up here. And I give honor as well unto my mother, the prophetess of the house, Brother Larry, Brother Kevin, Brother EJ, Isaac, or Brother Ralph, Sister Daisy. For some reason I say Sister Daly. And I give the Master thanks and praise, for each and every one of you that is viewing live today. And for those of you who will be viewing this live stream at a later time. So as I went and sought the Master for a word on today, and he gave me a message to deliver to his people today. And today we want to deal with a long, drawn-out, ongoing issue pertaining to our brother Shaul's writing. As our brother Kepha said it, many, I'm just going to paraphrase, have misconstrued Shaul's letter and have caused a lot of deception. So as I was going through this and checking it out, the issue that we were having was with our people dwelling in the land of Corinth, or Corinthian, the Corinthians. Now, when you look at the location today, Corinth is in Greece. It's in Europe. And we have been taught over the years that Shaul went and brought the good news to the Gentiles. So when people see and hear that Gentiles, automatically they're thinking Europeans. That Shaul was assigned to the Europeans. But I remember the word because he said in the land of your enemies, he said your history, your heritage, and your knowledge was going to be wiped out. So today, if I go to any country outside of the United States, they will say, based on how I speak, you're an American. They will not say you're Jamaican. They will not say you're a Hebrew Israelite because of my language. You are an American. So who were these people that Shaul had to go into Greece to deal with? Who tossed him over the mountain? It was our people. Let's look at something here in 1 Corinthians chapter 1. That's 1106 in your scriptures. So it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Back in the days of Sunday school, they did not teach you to go from Genesis to Exodus. It was just to read the New Testament, as it would say. Study it.
All you know is Noah. That's why
as the brother said, all you knew was Noah and the ark.
Yeah, that's why I heard my big fish.
They didn't teach you to study nothing else. So we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, and we're going to look at something our brother Shaul said here. And a few more things afterward. It says, Shaul, a called emissary, or taught one, disciple, of YAHOSHUA Messiah by the desire of Elohim and brother Sosthenes, to the assembly of Elohim which is at Corinth. And as I said, the location of this city is amongst the Greeks. So we're talking about the land in the north.
Right.
We're not talking about a city or a town or a country that is in Africa or in the Middle East or on this side of the world. We're talking about our people that was dwelling in that region. But how did they get there?
Right.
How how did Israelites end up in Europe?
Right.
What took place? Well, let's go back to the time of the Greeks. And what our people were doing during that time. As the brother talks about this morning with the locusts. He was kind of tapping into the message. But to Yah be praised. Drunkenness, sin, has caused Israel to end up amongst the Greeks.
Come on, break that.
So while living amongst the Greeks, we fossilize into their customs. So you go there now and you say, well, who are these people? They will say they're Greeks. Well, looking at them, you say, but these are my people. So as I said earlier, me going to that region based on how I talk, they would say you're an American. But if I don't go and say who I am, whose I am, what am I doing, the list goes on and on, they would have no clue that I'm a Hebrew Israelite or a Hebrew of the Hebrews. So we fossilize into their custom, their tradition, and their ways. So now we become one with them. So you can't tell the difference, because when Christmas come, everybody celebrating Christmas. When Thanksgiving come, everybody celebrating Thanksgiving. When birthdays come, everybody celebrating birthdays, doing the things according to the surrounding nations. There was no difference.
Right.
No difference whatsoever. As we continue in verse 2, it says, to those who are set apart in Messiah, called, keep, set apart ones. He did not call the nations set apart ones. And this is something we've missed throughout the years, and many have also missed it as well. To those who are set apart in Messiah, called, set apart ones, with all those calling on the name of Messiah, our Master, in every place, theirs and ours. So he was addressing the set apart ones and those that are calling upon our Master YAHOSHUA HaMashiach, because we are fossilized into their custom. So you couldn't see one and say, well, this one, this, because, and this one, that. No, we look the same. You see a Puerto Rican today, you can't tell the difference if it's one from a Latino or Hispanic, because they look the same. It's the same people, but how do you identify them? How do you know who is who?
Right.
We would then have to go back to Leviticus 26 or Deuteronomy 28. So how shall we identify his people? The very same scriptures. He said, in the land of their enemies, they have no peace. They're a byword. They're a mockery. They're an astonishment. They're a thing of shame amongst the nation. So you want to find some Hebrew Israelites, okay, where are the black people? They can point you out instantly where you can find some black folks.
Surely.
In the 15 and the 1400s, there was this brother, actually in the 13th century, this brother called Yaya Negro, which is Spanish for black. And this brother and the army that they put together were the ones that helped the Spaniards to fight against the Moors. So what they did in return, the king gave them a portion of land and called it Negro land. And that was what it is. So if we were able to time travel and go back in time into Spain and say, show us the Hebrew Israelites, they will point you to the village of the Negroes to fulfill the word. This is how you can identify them. A byword. So you can't call me by who I am? No. Negro. So I don't fought for you, but this is how you can place me on the world's perspective. The Negroes are over there. All them black Hispanic, up there, right over there. That's where you'll find them, over in East Tampa. Oh, there's a few back over here. They all know who we are. But they will say, this is what they say. Messiah came for the world. I say, show me. He said, I was only sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And for those that are taking notes, that's Matthew 15, verse 24. He did not went outside of Israel to go minister to anybody. Why? The covenant is with Israel.
Yes, sir.
The covenant is not with the nations.
Right.
They can come in.
Correct.
Right.
As the Passover rule states that when they come in, they must be one with you. not you becoming two with them.
Come on, man.
Hallelujah.
You want to celebrate our Passover? You got to snip that foreskin.
Yes, sir. Come
You
on.
got to be set apart.
Come on. Circumcision.
If you can't, then you can't partake in it, because then the locust, then, which is so good to eat, will become sin in your life. You can't eat of the Passover and you're still circumcised in flesh.
Right.
That piece of unleavened bread and whatever you're eating will then come sin to your body. Sickness and disease will then come upon you because you did not follow the Torah in the way Passover is to be kept.
Right.
So fossilizing with these people, now we become one with them.
That's good.
But they know who you are. And they can point you out at any given time. They go one of the Negroes. Well, how do you hear that? There, just look, the broke down car,
Come on, man.
the loud music,
Come on, man.
their pants down there behind,
Come on, man.
their women walking outside with that night covering on their head looking like, I can't stand it. Why would you want to leave your house with that thing covering over your head? And you think they're looking good. Another one, yeah, it's a they're a monkey. Yeah, them big old broom on their highlights. How much longer must your eyelashes be? Looking like a broom. Sweep some dirt over here. But that's how you identify them. So here is Israel dwelling amongst these people. So Yahusha, they are called set apart ones. Verse 3. It says, favor to you and peace from Elohim our Father and the Master, YAHOSHUA Messiah. He said, I thank my Elohim always concerning you for the favor of Elohim which was given to you by Messiah. So as Pastor talks about it earlier, they always praying for the Mishmachah. Always praying for the brothers, always praying for the sisters. So here is Shaul is addressing the same thing to you. The same thing to the people, to let it be known. Let's jump down to verse 11. He said, for I have been informed concerning my brothers by those of the house of Kobe that there are strife among you. What I mean is this. Each one of you say, I am of Shaul, or I am of Apollos, or I am of Kepha, or I am of Messiah. I want to deal with Apollos real quick because it ties into where we're going to go in a few minutes. Apollos was a brother that was born in Egypt, an Israelite brother, that was then returned back to the covenant, qualified, certified, ordained, trained, well taught, which was then now later on was able to go back and to bring, I wouldn't say the good news, but encouragement to the brothers and the sisters. But there was a problem. Division. Division amongst the people because favoritism. And it plays a huge role from back then until today. So here is Israel dwelling amongst the Greeks. And people will say, well, what about the nations? This good news is not for them? Yes, it is too. But how? He said, by your good works, let your light shine, that men will see our good deeds and give esteem and honor unto our Father who is in the heaven. Go with me real quick, or for those who are taking notes as well, to John chapter 7, verse 35. Because YAHOSHUA said something as we're on this topic. So that will be John chapter 7, verse 35. Are we there? The Yehudim therefore said to themselves, this is YAHOSHUA addressing the crowd, where is he about to go that we shall not find him? Is he about to go to the dispersion among the Greeks and to teach the Greeks? What is this word which he said, you shall seek me and you shall not find me? Where am I going? You are unable to come. So here we can see once again, Israel, even during the time when Messiah was on the scene, was living amongst the Greeks. From the time of the Greek Empire up until now. So therefore, it is necessary for the good news to get to our brothers and sisters who were living amongst the Europeans. Because he said it from the beginning, I was sent to the lost sheep. They're lost. They're scattered amongst the nations. Because the shepherds did not do their jobs. The judges did not do their job. The rulers did not do their job. There was no oneness. There was no unity. Our kings did not make sure righteousness in all aspects and right ruling went forth. So because of the shepherds not doing their job like Eli, Ophni and Phinehas, Israel is scattered amongst the nation. But somebody got to bring the good news to them. But what we have been taught is that Shaul brought the good news to the Europeans.
Right.
No, he did not. He brought it to the assembly of Israel that was dwelling amongst the nations in Europe. So as I checked it out, done it before in the past and revisit again earlier, I said, well, hold on. But all of this is in Europe. How we got there? Captivity. As the brother spoke about it earlier. Slavery, drunkenness, disobedience, lack of knowledge brought us to the place where we are today. So the confusion sets in, and as our brother Malcolm X said, and I like the way he put it, and Bob Marley said something even similar to what he said. He said, you cannot have your enemy teaching your children.
Come on now.
Come on, break that
You
down.
can't.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to have your enemy teaching your children?
Right.
What did we learn in Sunday school? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians. And they taught us from the so-called New Testament, and very rarely do they go into the deep, meaty part of the substance that we need to know who we are.
Right.
Nobody was teaching that. So somebody has to rise up and do the job. Bob Marley said it himself. He said, don't let them school you. Don't let them fool you or even try to school you. Where are all these brothers today? Dead. So one rise up to tell the truth, dead. Another one rise up speaking the truth, dead. And that's what they've been doing over the years, knocking off the brothers because they don't have a covenant with Yah. They are then able to come in and do what they do. Which makes it clean and clear once again that we must stay in covenants.
Yes, sir.
We have to stay in covenants. I've seen it one, too many times, brothers who have stepped away from the truth and end up dying. A sister, well, a young lady, pastor and I ministered to her over and over. Sister Gertie got to do this. Sister Gertie got to do that. And she would tell a story about how she having these crazy dreams. Last week we got a phone call, she's dead. She hung herself, leaving her one, maybe 9-month-old baby behind. So truth always go before the destruction. The truth went, the warning went, but she didn't take heed. We got the word, heaven died, leave our son temple behind. It's sad. Just sad. But to Yah be praised. The warning always go forth before the destruction comes. So therefore we have to make sure we stay in covenant. So here is Israel dwelling amongst the Greeks. And as I said earlier, fossilized into their custom. So the nations know who we are. They know everything that must be done to keep our identity a secret.
Right.
They know everything they must do to keep us away from the covenant.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Every single thing they must do to keep us away from the covenant. So now they're coming out with a vaccine. But Israel loved their enemy so much that they're going to take the vaccine not realizing it's a nanobite technology. And that's the reason why they want you to stay 6 feet away from each other. And that's the reason why they're rolling out the 5G technology. That's the only way it's going to work if you're social distancing. But Israel loved the created things more than the creator. So in Psalms 83 verse 4, the very same people that we love so much, he said, come, let's wipe them out as a nation, that the name of Israel is no longer in remembrance. So if I go to another country, they will not say I'm a Hebrew Israelite. They will not say I'm a Jamaican. They will say you're an American. And it did not start with the United States. It's every country we went to, every captivity we have suffered, they have wiped out our history, our heritage, and our knowledge. They changed the brothers' names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They changed Daniel's name. They changed everybody's name to wipe out our history. So the only way to identify Yah's people is by the curse. It's by the curse. I did a drop off yesterday, and I asked the sister, is this the hangout spot? She said, no. They're there 24 hours.
Wow. As
the prophet Isaiah said it, you shall find them at the top of the street and in the jailhouses. Immediately that word of prophecy came to my mind when she said, no, that's the hangout spot 24 hours. Where was it? At the top of the street. Loud music carrying on. That's how you identify them. Or one of the ways you identify them. So somebody had to go and bring the good news to these lost sheep. Somebody had to. So who better to send to your own people than their own people?
Right.
So somebody had to do it. And that was our brother Shaul. But people misquote his teaching over and over. That he was sent to bring the good news to the Europeans. Yes and no. But how would they get it? Again, by our good works. So we can't go around with racism talking about the white man can't be safe. We can't go around and talk about the Chinese man can't, because in the end, they're all the master's creation. And salvation is for all who believe. But we got to bring this good news first to our people, because we're the one being beat down, broke, busted, and disgusted. And the sad thing about it, when we bring knowledge on how to gain wealth, people disperse.
Yes, sir.
But if the European come showing you, well, come and take this class and pay this money, come and take that class and pay that money, we flock to it. But our very own saying, come, let's get up out of poverty. Come, let's get up out of bad health and all of the curses. Let's get up out of it. We have a problem.
Right.
So this one will come and say, well, I am off Apollos. I am off prophetess too, because I like the way she preaches. Whenever she comes, there's always some prophecy. Yeah, she gonna prophesy over my life. But when Pastor Reggie comes, it's always, if you don't repent, you gonna die. You gonna die. You gonna die. Or if it's Brother Larry, oh, but that's it. That's the problem. Tickling words. You gonna get a house. You gonna get a car. But your situation is stinking.
Right. Come on, man.
Your family is dying of sickness and disease. Right. Every couple of months, somebody's passing out.
Come on.
Where is Grandpa? He's out there on the side of the road drunk.
Come on.
Where's Grandma? We don't know. She's in a mental facility. Where's your mom? We don't know. She's probably in the strip club somewhere. Division. But that was always the enemy's plan. Divide and conquer. Bring in the confusion so they would not see each other in high esteem. All they're going to be thinking about is their own gain. How can I gain this? How can I gain that? And so deception has crept in over and over and over. Easy money, easy access, easy. Why can't I work with my hand and earn it?
Right.
Everything must be easy. So the government continue to flow with government subsidies. Because if I keep these Negroes that way, with that mindset, they will never rise up and be the true people they're supposed to be. Never. If I keep on feeding them junk food, their minds will never grow. That's why they come and they say to you, you only use 10% of your brain. Devil is a liar. every day I use the full percentage of my brain.
Yes, sir.
That's why you gotta go out. That's why you gotta go find things to do. Create more memory, create more brain cells.
Yes, sir.
But if they keep you stumbling, keep you broke, busted, and disgusted, you will never create more memory. Now, that's why they only use 10% of their brain, because they ain't doing nothing.
Come on now.
I've met people while living here in Tampa that have never left St. Petersburg. I'm like, how? How is it possible you have never left the city of St. Pete, Pinellas County? I said, hold on. I wasn't even born in this country. And I've traveled to this country, throughout this country, and outside of this country. And you have never left St. Petersburg? What's your reason? Nothing. Just never had any reason to leave. It's how they think. It's the food.
Yes, sir.
The chemicals in the food.
Yes, sir.
The chemicals in the water.
Yes, sir.
Everything that they're doing is to keep Israel down. That's always been the plan. So Moshe come, Deborah come, Gideon come, Jeremiah come, Ezekiel come. All these people come, and it's the same people over and over. As soon as the prophets die, we go back to our old nasty ways. Why? When will we ever to stand and stay standing?
Right, come on.
But the enemy creeps in with division. So here is Apollos. And we're going to go over to chapter 2. That's just the beginning. Here is Apollos, a brother. It's like me, under the training of Pastor Reggie. Since 2009 up until now, I've never left this wing. I've taken my whoopings, and I've grown. So he can send me anywhere now. If they say, hey, Pastor, can you send your minister over here? I'm more than qualified and willing to go.
Yes, sir.
If I wasn't, he would have said, sit down like he done many times. You're not ready yet. That's not the way the word said things are to be done.
Yes, sir.
So Apollos was called and qualified to now go and bring some encouragement to the people. But division crept in. Bear in mind where they are. They're in Europe. Bear in mind the same people that we're dealing with today. Oh, so this pastor coming in from out of town. Oh, we like how you preach, Pastor Edwards. We like how, oh yeah, I know that that's our pastor, but we like how he teach. He speak with eloquent, big college words that we can understand. And because I'm so educated that I can't come down to a humble state of mind and learn the good news, because I'm a rocket science, I'm this, I'm that, I got my PhD, I got this, I got that, I'm a doctor, so you can't talk to me in regular language.
Come on, come on.
So don't be surprised at times when prophetess will say, or she will correct us on certain words. Because we're going to run into people like that.
Right, absolutely.
That think you're not educated.
Right.
Think you're a nobody.
Right.
Because you have a beard and you have a turban on your head because you look like a regular person. But you are somebody.
Absolutely.
You have what they need.
Come on now.
They think they don't need it right now because their education is their mighty one. And so division creeps in. So I'm of this, I'm of Joel Osteen. Why? Because he preached some pretty word to them all the time. It's always some pretty word. And they jump here and they jump there, so I am of this one. But this one over, nah, he's always telling me to do what is right.
Come on, man.
She's always telling me to do what is right.
Yes, sir.
So I don't want to hear you, Pastor. I don't want to hear you, prophets. I don't want to hear you, Brother Ivan. I would definitely don't want to hear from Brother Larry because he's a watchman. And he's always watching.
Hallelujah.
That's his job. So they don't want to be around people like those, so they pick, choose, and refuse who they want.
Right.
And so, division. Chapter 2.
John?
1 Corinthians chapter 2. As a matter of fact, let's go to chapter 3. Chapter 3. So there's a problem. Division. So one came and built on what Messiah have already laid. But Pastor Reg is not always going to be around you. You're going to have to go home. Prophetess is not going to always be around you. Brother Iris is not going to always be around you. Nobody's going to always be around you. You got to go home. And feast and grow on the knowledge that was given unto you.
Yes, sir.
So who is pastor? As Moshe said. Who's Aaron? Who's Moshe? That you bickering against us? Let's go. He said, and I, brothers, was not able to speak to you as the spiritual ones, but as the fleshly, as the babes in Messiah. I fed you with milk and not with solid food. For until now you were not able to receive it. And even now you are still not able to do so. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 11:07 in your scriptures. So until this day, Israel is still not able to receive the word of truth.
Right.
Because they want to stay on milk.
Come on, man.
They want to stay on being mediocre.
Yes.
I'm just fine where I am. I'm just going to come, not picking on you, brother here, but just sit right in the back. I have my spots where nobody sees me, where I come in and do whatever I want to do and just slid right out. So people like those cannot digest solid foods because they don't want to grow. And these are the people that the word talks about that they ever learning but never come to the word of truth. They never come to the full flourishing of the knowledge of truth because they don't want to grow. So they see you growing, they see you growing, they see you growing, they hear you testify, and then they get mad at you. Well, Brother Kevin dropped a nice truck. Sister Daddy testify about that. Oh, Brother Ivans is about to be this. Oh, look at Egypt. Wow, he went on up. But what is Brother Kevin doing? What is you doing that you can testify? What are you doing that you're doing that those on the outskirts refuse to do? Live right.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Sit right there.
Live right. You talk about first fruit, they have a problem.
Yes, sir.
You talk about tithes, oh, that's just for the Levitical priesthood. Can you prove you're a Levite? Well, can you prove Melchizedek was a Levite?
Come on, man.
Can you prove it? Can you prove Peter and all the brothers were from the Levitical priesthood? Where was the priesthood when the good news is being taught? Where was Caiaphas? Where was all the priests? Sitting down becoming drunk with the Romans, as they are today. They're supposed to be priests in Israel, but they're ready to sit in the churches and join in with the Illuminati.
Come on.
And they drive around with the signal on their car, and people don't have a clue that your pastor is a part of the one world order. Your pastor, yes, look on the signal on their car with the G, what's that? The Freemason sign. And they flaunt it in your face. They're part of the one world order. You were a pastor, but you were a 32-degree Mason. One pastor a while back talked about, I raised my fist in the sight of God. Pastor and I said, yeah, not in the sight of Yah.
Right.
Because that hand would never went back down.
Oh, yeah.
Hallelujah.
You raise your fist onto, you go ahead and see how long that's going to happen. But that's what he said. We was doing a radio show. We was on the radio show. And he said, I raised my fist in the face of God. I was like, I'm glad I ain't a Christian no more on that note. Because even then, I still fear God. And know that you don't do no stuff like that.
Right.
Know that he can simply breathe and your breath is gone.
Right.
But he was a Freemason. A 32-degree Freemason. Preaching. And wanted to school us. Well, you're going to have to call, when you come on the radio, just call other people and tell them to call into the radio show. Deception.
Right.
Oh, tell people, bro, EJ, bro, I'll tell you what. When we say we open up the lines for people to call in, I want all of you to call in. So prepare the ground to make it look as if people are calling, asking questions. Want to be prayed for. Deception. And you're a pastor. But that's what Israel love. People like those that tickle their ears. and they ain't going nowhere. Verse 3. It said, for you are still fleshly. For since there's envy, strife, and division among you, are you not fleshly and walking according to man? Yes, they are. Yes, they are indeed. Envy, strife, division. The number one tool of Pastor divide and conquer.
Yes, sir.
Come between the brothers. That's all you got to do. Come between the sisters. Let's create some jealousy. Oh, the master blessed this one. Well, this one don't want to live right, so I'm going to cause some strife and some jealousy and some deception. Hate your sister because she's living good now. Hate your brother because he got a nice house. Hate. But never come to the brother and say, hey, man, what do you do for them?
Right.
Hey, my sister, what are you doing and I'm not doing? We go to the same temple. But I see things are going great for you. Your products are selling. This is going good for you. What is it that I'm not doing? And we will tell you.
Right.
In love. We sow. We give. We tithe.
Yes, sir.
We find people out in the street and bless them.
Yes, sir.
What? Yeah. That's what we do. What we want, we give.
Absolutely.
That's it. I want a house, I sold. Well, where do I find that? Let's go to Leviticus chapter 27. What do you mean? Yeah, well, in Christianity, they call it sow seed. In the Torah, it says make a vow. Same thing. So you want a house? Make a vow.
Come on, man.
You want a new car? Make a vow.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you want, he said, whatever it is you ask for in his name, it shall be given. But how am I going to receive if I never want to give up anything?
Come on, man.
All I got in my heart is hate and envy. Oh, I can't stand him. He's always looking good. Look at their children, always looking good. I went through it. In the church. Deacon Snoop's daughter, she always wearing nice stuff. Yeah, because her mom and her daddy work.
Right. Exactly.
That's the firstborn. You want them to look good all the time.
Absolutely.
That's the way I was raised. You go to church, make sure you put on your Sunday best. You don't come up in the church looking any old way. No. If it's one pair of shoes, you make sure it's polished, looking good, and we go to church.
Wow.
Catch me on a regular day is a different story. But Sunday we go to church. I might look dirty back then on Saturday, between Monday and Saturday, but come Sunday morning, I look clean. We going to church now. Gotta look pretty for that man. But not anymore. I look clean, I look fresh every day.
Yes, sir.
Because my mind has been renewed. I'm eating fleshly food. I'm not just on milk anymore. I'm no longer a baby.
Yes.
I can see my dreams come to pass because I plant things that I want to see grow.
Yes, sir.
I want a family. I know what I need to do. Gotta have a wife. But before you get a wife, what do you need? Moolah. You gotta have some money. She wants her hair done, her nail done. The list goes on and on. The way you start is the way you gotta continue. So you need to make sure you're financially stable.
Yes,
That's
sir.
with no squirrel.
That's why they don't want no scrub. That's what brother said. Hanging out in the passenger side.
How your best friends ride?
Best friend ride. But you hollering at the sister. You don't even have your own ride.
You'd be like, please.
You don't catch an Uber. Where are you going? McDonald's. Oh no, not mine. You ain't taking mine to no McDonald's because I don't even give them that stuff.
Right.
But that's the problem. Division. Verse 4. For in one say, I am of Shahu, and another, I am of Apollos. Are you not fleshly? You're saying, well, I'm going to go listen to Brother Larry. Well, I'm going to listen to Minister Rachel. Well, I'm going to listen to Pastor Reggie. Well, I'm going to listen to Brother Kevin. Are you not fleshly? Who is Brother Larry? Who is Pastor Reggie? Who is Brother Kevin? Who is Prophetess Tina? Who is those that are bringing forth the good news? Are we not all servants of Messiah?
Yes, sir.
That's all we are. We did not plant the good news. We are the sowers of the good news. Well, watering what has already been planted. That's it. So why are you ever favorite? Why will you only listen to this one? It's like children. Well, I'm only going to listen to daddy. No, listen to your mommy as well. Daddy didn't bring you into this world by himself. It's mommy and daddy. So you're going to respect me and you're going to respect your mother. Simple as that. I heard what Pastor Reddy preached. I heard what Cohen Alex preached. Are they off Messiah? Yes. I heard what prophetess teach. Is she off Messiah? Yes. So why is there strife? Why is there division? There shouldn't be if they're coming to you with the good news.
Right.
It shouldn't be if you're spending time at home reading the teaching and the instruction.
Right.
It shouldn't be if you're testing the spirit.
Come on.
So they try them. If one come prophesy and try to turn you to another, you know it's a false prophet.
That's the word.
If one come and telling you, well, tithe and offering is just grain,
Come on.
you know that's not a Messiah. How are you going to maintain the house?
Come on, man. Break that down.
Well, you can't prove that you are of the biblical priesthood. Can you prove you are Israelites?
Come on.
Because it wasn't just Israel that was captured and sold into captivity.
Right.
There were the same people that hunted us down that got caught too. And were shipped over here and throughout the regions. So can you prove since you want to go there? Foolish arguments. So test the spirit. Is they or are they of Messiah? That's it. Listen. Okay. What I used to do, and I still do it, I'll go home and watch the tape again. I'll go home and I'll read it again. To make sure it is what the word says. And in addition, it brings my spirit deeper into what my eyes can see. Because every time you open up the word and you read, it takes you deeper. So know them by their spirit, by the fruits. That's how we know if they're of Yah.
That's right.
If not, knock the dust off your feet and keep moving.
Yes, sir.
That's it. He said, what then is Apollos? And what is Shahu, but servants through whom you believe, as the master assigned each. I plant, Apollos watered, but Elohim was given growth. So neither he who plants nor he who water is any at all, but Elohim gives the increase.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
It's the master YAHOSHUA that giveth the increase, not Pastor Reggie. So when you give your first fruit, yes, you're giving it to a man, but you're giving it to the truth.
Yes, sir.
Because they proclaim the truth.
Yes, sir.
But we will make sure we pay our taxes and our Medicaid. It comes out automatically.
Come on, man. Break that down.
We make sure. Our 401k comes out automatically. Our dental, medical, all that stuff comes out automatically. And then they want to come and give off the net. And when you correct them, something is wrong with you. No, something is wrong with you. I'm just saying what the word said because I myself have to live according to it too. And that's why I'm being blessed. That's why I don't want the American dream. I want my dream.
Come on, man.
Hallelujah.
I don't want the American dream. What is the American dream? Who said about who made such a quote? Was it not your enslavers?
Come on, man. Come on.
Was it not your slave owners? It's their dream that's being fulfilled.
Right.
It's their dream that's being withheld. The American dream. Every politician, what do they come talking about? Jobs.
Right.
Every single one is come offering you a job. What about business opportunity?
Come on, man. Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurship.
Yes, sir.
Housing for y'all's people.
Yes,
What about keeping the word that your forefathers made? 40 acres of land and 2 Cadillacs.
Hallelujah.
Come on.
Or 2 farm equipments.
There you go.
Good.
So I don't have to do the manual labor that we used to do anymore. What about that?
Right.
But nah. The mental enslavement is what they want.
Yes, sir.
So don't come tell me about no American dream. I don't want it. That's a nightmare. Because it keeps you on the job.
Come on, man.
That's all it does, is keeps you on the job.
Hallelujah.
You have to fulfill your own dream.
Yes, sir.
He said, whatsoever you put your hands to do, you shall be blessed.
Yes, sir.
But, as if you keep the commands.
That's it.
Hallelujah.
That's it.
That's the but.
It's a big butt up in there.
If you obey to keep the Torah, then
I didn't mean it like that.
blessed are you in the city, in the field, in the town, when you come, when you go. No, there will be no abortion. There will be no miscarriage. There will be none barren among you.
Right.
Your grocery cart, your basket will be blessed. Everything around you will be blessed. That's the but.
Mm-hmm.
That's the condition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to fulfill your dream, you're going to keep their dream afloat.
Come on, man.
That's it.
That's it.
Forever a hired servant instead of being the boss.
Right.
I'm the boss. Who's the boss? I'm the boss. My boss of my business.
Yes,
What
sir.
about you and your business?
Right.
Are you the boss? Are you striving to be the boss? Or are you striving to divide? Let's not divide. Let's come together. Let's support each other.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter who bring the truth as long as it's in Messiah and it's of Messiah.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, Yah.
I don't have a problem sitting down and an Asian brother speak the word of Yah. Is the good news only to Yisrael? No. I don't have a problem sitting down and a Gentile, a European, is brought forth the word. As long as he's well taught. As long as the spirit of Yah is upon him. I will sit down and listen. No problem. Those are my brothers and my sisters, as YAHOSHUA said. Who is my brother and my sister? They that do the will of my Father. It ain't my blood family members.
Right.
It ain't about genetics. It's about blood. It's about the spiritual covenant. So I don't have a problem sitting down listening to a Gentile as long as you're in the truth. That's it. Doesn't matter who you are. I will sit down and listen to a female teaching the word of Yah, as prophetess does many times. I don't have a problem. Simple as that. But don't let the enemy come in and divide. That's his plan. Divide. And when he creates division, then the plan of Yah takes longer to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Because now somebody got to come and replace the person who caused the division in the first place, if they refuse to repent. So a lot of times things don't happen the way it's supposed to in your life is because somebody in your life is causing division.
Be my president-in-law.
So the country can't move forward because of division. The community can't move. Your own house, your plan, your vision to fulfill your dream can't move forward until you see the problem for what it is and repent.
Yes, sir.
That's it. United we stand, but divided we fall. So it's not about this one, it's not about that one, it's about the Master YAHOSHUA. Verse 8. And he who plants and he who waters are one, and each one shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So if it's me and Pastor Reggie, we're one. If it's me and Brother Kevin, we're one. Doesn't matter who it is, we're one. We're brothers and sisters in Messiah.
In this case, we're brothers.
But in this case, we're brothers. We're all laborers in the good news. And each one will receive his own reward. So I can't look at Pastor Reggie's reward and say, man, you got a fly car. Well, how long has he been in the walk?
Right.
You just started in 2009. What you doing comparing yourself to him? Because his blessing is bigger than yours. He started over 50 years ago. What about you? Before your daddy even thought about you, he's been in the truth. Oh, brother, it doesn't matter who it is.
I'm 19.
But he's 19 too. But that's how the enemy comes in and causes problem. People start measuring their situation according to other people's standard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brother Ivan's blessing or dream is not my dream. Brother Kevin's dream is not my dream. Pastor Reggie's calling.
It's your call.
In that case, his calling is my calling too, especially I think I took that oil and I rub it on my feet. It hasn't been the same. He warned me too. But hey, to y'all be praised, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because I ain't gonna say that, but it's a good thing.
Oh, praise.
So we are one in this truth. We are one in Messiah. And each will receive their reward for their labor. So don't be mad at Brother Kevin because he received something. Don't be mad at whoever it is. They have put in the time. They have sown. They have helped. They have blessed in the house, outside of the house. We don't know what people are doing outside of the house. Yeah, we gather here today. I don't know what you're going to do 25 minutes from now. I don't know who you're going to meet down the road and bless them, and somebody bless you back with 100-fold blessing.
Right.
It's because of your good labor. That's it. Each one will receive according to their labor. So the more you do in truth is the more you receive back in your life. It's just as simple as that. If you want to remain stagnant, then don't do what is right.
Exactly.
But if you want to grow, keep doing what is right.
Yes, sir.
It's just that
Praise
simple.
Yah. Mhm.
Verse 9. For we are fellow workers of Elohim. You are the field of Elohim and the building of Elohim. Now some people take that and they twist it. Well, see, you don't have to go to temple because your body is a temple. Well, how is that temple going to be filled, that spirit inside of you going to be filled, if you never come into the house and learn?
Right.
You never come to Torah study. But that's the food for your spirit. You never come to hear any current, nothing whatsoever. Well, I am a temple. See, as they would say, we don't need to go to church because your body's a temple. So you can stay home. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Forsake the gathering.
As our brother shows, that do not forsake the gathering of the brothers and the sisters together. Shabbat we gather. During the Moedims we gather. On prayer night, Friday nights we gather. We gather. So your body is a temple for the Ruach HaKodesh and your very own spirit. But how are you going to grow if you never come around like-minded people? How will you hear Sister Daisy's testimony? Sister Daisy's testimony. How will you hear Brother Ivan's testimony when the prophetess gave the word about 2 weeks ago that boom was gonna some things was gonna happen for him? How would you grow if you never hear anybody's encouragement? If you never hear to get a word of prophecy? You just always want to stay home. So many times we come out for prayer and the word is passed and it's just for those who came out. That's why no matter how tired I am, I always push. And I push like I did last night to make it out to prayer. Because if I can go out there and work so hard for me, what about him? If I can be so drowsy and dry, then why can't I be drowsy and come into the house of Yah? Just saying. We do it for ourselves. So what about when it's time to gather? Division. Division. That's all it is, division. And we have to make sure we close that door. And we're going to be closing here in 5 minutes. Verse 11. For no one is able to lay any other foundation except that which is laid, which is YAHOSHUA Messiah. That's it. It doesn't matter where you go into this world. YAHOSHUA is the foundation. He is the source of life. Nobody can build any other foundation except for what he has already laid. You can't go out and create your own earth. You can't go out and create any other foreign material that does not already exist on this earth. He is the foundation of everything. So everything they see and they use and they manipulate is him. So when people will say he's everywhere, literally, he is everywhere. Eyes are everywhere. The trees give him praise. The earth gives him praise. Everything that has breath gives him praise. He is the foundation. So we can't build except we already built on him. Build on what he's already been laid. It says each one. Okay, verse 12. If anyone builds on his foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay straw, each one's work shall be revealed. For the day shall show it up because it is revealed by fire. And the fire shall prove the work of each one whatsoever it is. So, trying times is going to come to prove what you have built. If you build a solid business, trying times will come. If you're building a house, trying times, whatever you are building, there's going to be trials to see if what you're building is solid. Because if it is solid, it will stand. But if it's not solid, it's going to fall. And it's even your very own truth.
You got 5 minutes, you stick up a little loud, so saying it can't hear you.
Okay. So whatsoever you build, it's going to be tried. If it's the good news that you go out there and you spread to the people, they're going to be tried. Everything must be tried, as YAHOSHUA Messiah went through it himself and was tried and proved to be set apart in all things pertaining to Yah. So you will be tried. So your dream is going to be tried. Your business is going to be tried. But if you don't fail, then it won't fail. Praying, fasting, always growing, never stop, never looking back. Even as I'm out there doing what I do, the enemy will come. But why are you doing this? See, it makes you so tired. It makes you this. It makes you that. Shut up. Because my children are not going to come up and work for nobody.
I know that's right.
Hallelujah.
And that's what keeps me going. And at one point, the master said to me, if you don't feel what these other business owners feel, how would you know what it feels like? They had to go and do what you do.
Right.
They had to offload. They have to drive. They have to do it. They were just like you, and so they advance. So don't stop growing. Just don't let division come and divide what you plan on doing.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Your own salvation. Don't let nobody come and divide you. Talk about Pastor Ray this, Minister Richard that, this one this, that one that. What about you? Deceiver.
Right. Come on.
If they're going to come and talk about your pastor, they're talking about you. I don't care who the person is. I know he ain't perfect. I know I ain't perfect. Who here is perfect? None of us in here is perfect. We are all sinners saved by grace. So if you talk about him, you talk about me. And that's the attitude we got to have. You can't talk about my brother like, I know my brother like. No, he would not do such a thing. When they call and talk about people handing out flyers in a certain neighborhood, we knew who it was.
Right.
We knew it was Brother Larry. But that's his job. That's the job. Go into all nations and create disciples. We did it too when we first moved to this side of town. We went throughout the neighborhood and handed out flyers. And people will call and complain. Oh, well. Well, one particular neighborhood, we knew who it was. But to y'all be praised. That's our brother. He's just spreading the good news. That's that. So that, my brothers and my sisters, here and those live streaming, the enemy came out against Israel when they were on their journey. When the Midianite people sent their women to distract and divide. And so Israel was joined to Baal Peor. Prostitution. He's always going to come and try to divide. To lead you to something that is not of you. So don't let nobody divide you from this truth. Stand your ground. Stand for what you know is truth. Don't let nobody break your moral standard in the word of Yah. Because it's going to come. They're going to try. Especially with what's happening right now. It is going to happen. They are going to force people to take this vaccine in order for them to get things back normal. And people are going to fall for it.
Right.
They fall for that, they're going to fall for the mark of the beast. Desensitization. That's the plan. The smartwatch, the smartphone, the smart this, the smart that. That's what they do. To divide. Husbands don't talk to their wives no more. They text. Children don't talk to their parents no more. They text in the same house and you texting each other. Have you lost your mind?
Yeah, we do it. We lost our mind.
Yep.
We sure do it.
People don't communicate no more. Divide and conquer.
Got you up in that.
Right.
That's the plan. So if you find yourself into it, work your way out of it. Because that's how the enemy comes in, like a flood. So we have to see for what it is and crush it.
Praise God.
Because at the end of the day, verbal communication is important.
That's right. Absolutely.
Talking to each other. Talk to grandma. Talk to grandpa. So what? They're talking about the same stuff over and over. They just want someone to talk to. Talk. That's how they remember things. That's what keeps them going. But these little devices has divided us. I am not of anyone but the Master YAHOSHUA and those that bring forth the good news.
Praise God.
That's who I am, and I leave that with you today.
Hallelujah.
All praise be to God.
Hallelujah. Good job.
Give the Master thanks and praise for our own homegrown Minister Richard. One more time. All praise to the Master YAHOSHUA. Hallelujah. Again, this message is from Pac Ministries. And if you want to listen to this message, just go into Pac Ministry and you will find Minister Richard and his message today and all of the messages from Pac Ministries. So to God be praised, those of you that are out there, thank you for tuning in with us today, and blessings to you and your family. Please look up Facebook for Pac Ministries. Blessings again. Shalom.
Shalom. Hallelujah.